Now, this video is not about me, but quickly, I just want to say that today I didn't really feel it going on a walk. There's a 7 mile loop, step out of the house, and there's big hill, 7 mile loop that I love to do every day. Today, it's a snowstorm. There's a part of me saying, I don't really want to go out, but then I was like, no, gotta do it. It's part of the daily flow, part of the daily routine, and though I didn't initially want to do it, about 100 steps in, I'm like, wow, I'm glad to be outside. Having a hell of a time. Breathing in the fresh, crisp winter air, opening up the lungs, opening up the heart. And, yeah, it's great. Great to get outside, go on a walk, clears the mind. And although I'm generally not thinking while I'm walking, today some thoughts arose in consciousness, and thus I want to share this. Just thinking about energy. And it's funny because thoughts are energy, right? They have form. Everything in the world, all form, began with a thought. Is a product of the self-same energy that is within all of us eternally, that is expressing as us, to and through us, endlessly. And I was thinking, I'm like, about consistency. And how I consistently do this 7 mile loop every day. No compromise. Whether it's wintertime, summertime, whatever. It's a time to connect with the eternal witness within. That's simply observing the thought process, the flow of consciousness, without judgments, without criticism, with complete acceptance, accepting the thoughts as they arise, because they're not separate. The knower is the known. There's no dualistic split within. And I was thinking, I was like, working with, because that's working with the body, as I'm walking, right? I said not to make it about me, just an example. It's also working with the mind because, you're observing the mind. It's a form of meditation. There's sitting meditation, walking meditation, lying meditation, standing meditation, whatever you can do. Whatever you do, everything can be a meditation. So it's working with the body, working with the mind. They're not separate, right? The body is an expression of mind. The body's like a puppet. We're not a body. We have a body. And the body acts accordingly, whatever we believe mentally. And so we want to be conscious of our beliefs, and we can allow this, be the witness of those beliefs as they arise in consciousness, whatever thoughts arise when we're walking, or whatever we're doing. It can just be simply a contemplative lifestyle. And, that allows you to sort through emotions. So working with the body, mind, emotions, they're all linked. And, of course, working with the spirit, because it's the energy that's allowing it. That's allowing all of it to take place. That is the source of our existence, right? It's not a matter of faith or belief. Or science. It's really obvious. What's beating our hearts? It's this energy that's within us and within everything around us. Human beings and every living entity. So I was thinking about consistency. And if I take my hand and I open and close it 1,000 times every day, consciously, I'm aware of it. Counting 1,000 times every day, right? The dexterity in this hand is going to increase significantly. And likewise, mentally, if I repeat the same name 1,000 times, whatever the name, doesn't matter the name, it could be Jesus Christ, it could be Krishna, it could be Buddha, it could be Rama, be whatever name. And repeat that name 1,000 times. My mental faculty is going to grow and expand significantly. I'll be able to perceive the world more clearly, more acutely. I'll be able to function more astutely in my worldly endeavor, my creative endeavor, whatever that is. And so, likewise, if we work with our life energy every day, we work with our inner energy system, our chakra system. And again, it's not a matter of belief or faith. It actually is science. And it's obvious. This energy working within us. It can, some people write it off. Oh, that's New Age hocus pocus. Oh, whatever. That's your belief. That's your opinion. And you're entitled to it. You have a right to it. But it's not. That's an error. All ignorance. All sin. A lot of people have a problem with that word. But all sin is really ignorance. Jesus Christ and Buddha said that. Said this. Sin is ignorance. It's ignoring what's all around us. The truth that's right in front of our face. Right? The truth that's within us. This energy expressing as us. So it's not a matter of belief. It's a matter of getting in tune with this. It's something we can all access. It's a space in consciousness. It's really spaceless. It's kind of a spaciousness that's kind of like a void, emptiness, but those might not be the right words because it's really a fullness. It's kind of a full emptiness. It's a wholeness that we witness within when the self is absent, when the personal self is kind of no longer there, when there's really no thoughts. It's the space, the silence in between thoughts, where we're simply the witness of this moment as it is, without trying to control it, without trying to anticipate the future, without rehashing thoughts about the past, where we're simply lovingly aware right now. We're the loving witness of existence, of this energy expressing as us, as our own existence right now, as the life that we are. And when we are in that space, we feel a profound lightness, a profound energy, the energy that we are. There's no sense of separateness. There's no separateness from our existence and that which is all around us, which is expressing simultaneous. It's synonymous. It's harmonious. Heaven is harmony. When we see the world clearly, we'll see that this is heaven. It's not something that happens when the body perishes. It's something that we can embody right now. And it's always here. Sometimes we may feel it more than others. Like initially today, like I was saying, I didn't really want to go on the walk. It was there was a little bit of resistance, right? There's always room for growth. Always work to do. It's the great work, the inner work. Can't avoid it. The degree which we work and are attentive inwardly will be the degree to which proportionally that inner work manifests outwardly. And thus there's nothing to hide. There's no secrets. Because whatever's within is always going to express without. And a lot of people might think their thoughts are separate, that they're separate. But really, we can all intuit somebody's vibe, what they're thinking, their attitude, just by looking at them, of course. Body language says a lot, but also, even when you close your eyes, you can feel different vibes. You can feel the energy of different living entities. And you can feel it within yourself, of course, throughout your whole body. You can feel your being, the presence, from your head to your toes, simultaneous. And so consistency, right? Simply showing up on the daily walk, showing up to your daily job, whatever it is, showing up to your creative endeavor, even though you might not feel like it. But that's the day where the best stuff is going to express through you. Right? That day you don't want to go to the gym, that day you don't want to get on the elliptical, whatever it is, that's the day you're going to have the best workout. You overcome yourself. You overcome that potential inner resistance. And you find presence in that groundedness, that transcendence, that simultaneous grounded transcendence in this moment, now. Where you're here, you're part of this vibratory 3D reality, but at the same time you realize your transcendent existence beyond vibratory creation. You realize that inner stillness and silence beyond the sound. Be still and know that I am God. Finding that space of stillness, silence between thoughts, has nothing to do with outward sound. It has to do with an absence of a personal self, of a personality trying to control and dictate reality. It's founded in humility, surrendering oneself completely in the power of this moment now. Words family. Words family to try to describe that state. Where one simply is. You can say it's now. But now is a concept, and that space of consciousness is beyond thoughts. It's beyond all concepts. But still, I want to share it. Somehow. We can refine our activity. Refine our daily activity. Be aware of every single movement. Not act compulsively. Do everything consciously, kind of a constant self-remembrance. I'm here now. I'm here in the presence, in this moment. And move slowly, slow down. that'll help us with that sense of grounded transcendence. Just the willingness to surrender oneself to the life process. It's key. Willingness is key. Consistency is key. And this is it. This is a state of consciousness I'm referring to. It's complete silence. Whether the eyes are open or closed, whatever you're doing, whatever the activity, it can always be that state of pure awareness, simple loving witness of life. And thus you won't feel separate from it. Realize that this piece of life is part of the whole. That the drop of ocean, and that this one is actually the whole ocean as well. The whole ocean is in the drop, just as this drop is in the ocean. What is within is within out. But one might be able to understand that they are a drop in the ocean. This body is a drop in the vast cosmic sea. But to understand conceptually that the whole ocean, the whole universe is also in this drop, you really can't do it. You kind of got to feel it viscerally, right? You got to be it. You can understand that, okay, this one is part of the whole. You can understand that conceptually, but to try to intellectualize or understand mentally that the whole ocean is in me as well, you know, it's really more effective to be it, to feel it inwardly, to feel the presence. It's, whether we feel it or not, nevertheless, continuously expressing as us. It's simply a matter of awareness that God is always with us. And the Buddha, for instance, didn't really like using the word God because it stirred a lot of images and associations and thoughts and beliefs in people's minds that are associated with that word, because oftentimes it's a problem that many of us humans identify with the mind and identify with our beliefs, and we haven't created that space of what is us, what is this life energy within us, and what is mind. And so we think we're the mind, and so we identify with the beliefs, and so we feel like we have to defend them. And that word God, different thoughts arise that are associated with that word. And people confuse those thoughts and those images with God, which really has nothing to do with the living presence, the living God, which is now expressing as us, which is only here and now, not, something you attain if you live a good earthly life and, you live a virtuous life, something that you attain after death. Of course, this life affects the next. But we don't want to think God is something outside of us. So whether we use the word God or presence or now or eternity or life energy, you don't want to get caught up in the word necessarily, the concept. You want to see what it's pointing at. You want to see what the word is pointing at in reality. Because words are like a stop sign to help us navigate the world. To help us kind of understand it, right? At least partially. Because you can only understand things partially mentally. You feel the world viscerally. There's that feeling element and the mental element. Of course, we want to satisfy the mental element. But without the feeling element, there's not that sense of wholeness. You want both of those forces, masculine and the feminine, to be operating at full force and proper balance. Because thus, there'll be a harmony within us. And that'll be reflected outwardly. And we'll see that harmony in the world all around us. And we'll feel that heaven is right here, right now. Because what is within is found without. And I know this might not necessarily be easy to follow, as I said in the last video. But half the times I'm just saying stuff to rhyme and just expressing what arises without really thinking about it, without any prior thought. You know, if somebody had a question that would allow a certain stream of consciousness to ensue, to flow. But these videos kind of just, you know, want to share something, whatever is within the heart, and to simply allow it. See that there's nothing to get out of life. Get is kind of more the masculine, to plan for the future. I want to get this, attain this. There's nothing wrong with that. But to simply allow is more feminine. To allow life to express. Not to try to control it. And it's ironic that when you're in that state of total acceptance, of allowance, it allows you to control yourself much better, much more effectively, because there's no resistance, or very little resistance. And I'm sure you'll notice those that try to control the world actually really have no power. The true power is founded in that stillness, in the presence, in that state of allowance, in that state of complete acceptance, which is a state of peace, accepting life as it is. Those that are trying to control the world outside of themselves are trying to compensate for the fact that they can't control themselves. So they're projecting onto the world. They're trying to control the world around them, neglecting the fact that, hey, it starts within. I got to control myself first before I even think about trying to control the world around me. And the ironic thing is, when you develop that self-control, you don't have to control the world around you. Because everything just happens by synchronicity. It happens naturally. It happens harmoniously, effortlessly, miraculously. You're operating at a high frequency. Vibrating at a high energy. Everything in this three-dimensional reality. is emanating a certain vibration. I think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration, right? It's just basic.